that night carved the path to today, because literally everything that we thought was TV that could be fake happened to us
that night.
From the dawn of the spoken word, storytelling has been the backbone of human culture, warning of looming dangers and evoking our most personal fears. What you're about to hear are the real-life experiences of everyday people, brave enough to share their terrifying tales. Tales where the horror hits close to home. I'm your host, Danny. Welcome to the Hometown Horrors Podcast. Listen, if you dare. Howdy, folks. We are the Hometown Horrors Podcast, and I'm excited to announce the next series of episodes will feature a crew of bona fide paranormal investigators. The good dudes at Project Paranormal were kind enough to come on the show, share the history of their team, and expand on some of their most horrifying experiences. And I've got to be honest, folks, I flip-flop in my belief in the supernatural all the time, but after hearing these stories, I know for a fact that if you stare into the abyss long enough, it'll start staring back at you. So without any further ado, let's meet the members of Project Paranormal.
So I'm Matt Rice. I guess you would say I'm the founder.
I am Matt Bullard, co-founder. Yeah.
And I'm Travis, camera guy.
Yeah, co-founder, camera guy.
Co-founder, camera guy.
Brigadier.
Pack mule.
Pack mule. Yeah, that's more appropriate.
With plantar
Basically,
fasciitis.
Where's the wheelchair? We got to push you around.
For real.
All right, guys. So I think like a good place to start would just be what made you guys want to form Project Paranormal?
We were chilling at a river called Kelly's Ford in our area. Had a couple friends around a small campfire telling spooky stories. And, we were hearing cricks and creaks in the woods behind us and getting that vibe. And one of our friends, Darren, was like, hey, I had an experience at this place. So we just decided on a whim to pack up at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning to drive to Fairfax and just go see this spot that he had talked about. You know, we went inside. It was being renovated at the time. We got a little spooky vibe, and it just kind of ticked off an interest.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what, this is kind of cool. And then after that, I mean, it just kind of snowballed into what we got going on today.
So it used to be called Virginia Paranormal Research Society. And originally it was me, Matt Bullard, Travis, and Clayton. We all grew up together, right? So like we added a couple of people to the group that we all didn't know.
Kind of outsiders.
Yeah. And things just kind of happened. People went their separate ways. But, I watched the TV shows and I'm like, I want to see if this stuff is real. Before we actually went and did something, we had a couple of experiences here and there, right? But there was one night in particular. It was me, Matt Bullard, his girlfriend, and Clayton in the room. And I was like, oh, we're going to play the Ouija board tonight. And they're like, nah, we're not really feeling it. And I'm like, well, I'm going to make it and we're going to play it. And so him and his girlfriend at the time, they were arguing and they had stepped out of the room. And Clayton's like 19, 20, 15, 16. Does that mean anything to you? And mind you, Clayton's like weird. That coming out of his mouth was not really strange. And I just kind of blew it off and like, whatever, And he's like, high school ID, lunch ID, address, phone number. He's trying to figure it out. And he's not letting it go. It hunched over on the opposite side of the futon. And so I'm like, what if I spell it out in the alphabet? So I go 19.
S.
And then I continue on and it doesn't spell anything. So I'm like, what if I go to A, do 19, go back, do 20, and so on and so forth. And it spells out stop. So immediately I'm like, what the fuck? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, he's messing with me. That's something that he would do. But he's like, there's 24 letters in the alphabet, right? And I'm like, no, there's 26, bro.
Kind of hard to be intricately planning a cipher.
But still, it's like, it's not out of the norm for Clayton. And so like he had this dresser and a lamp on it. And I swear on everything, the lamp flickered. And when that lamp flickered is when me and Clay were like, fuck this. And we went out to get you and Crystal. And they're still arguing outside. I'm like, dude, shit's going down, man. The Ouija board spelled stop.
I'm not even worried about what he's saying.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm in my own thing and he's coming out to me like I'm doing something right now. And he's like, bro, seriously, like
I'm like, nah, dude, like it's going down. And so me and Clayton, everybody, we end up going back into the room. I'm not letting this go, right? So I'm like trying to figure this out, right? I got some numbers. I was like, Bullard, how many letters are in your name? And I shit you not. Matt Bullard's first, middle, and last name, 19 characters. Clayton's is 20. Mine is 15. And Crystal's is 16.
Y'all were getting called out.
I didn't know his middle name. Clayton's middle name is Clayton. His first name is William.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody
knew that. Nobody knows Crystal's middle name.
Nobody. Like, we literally wrote it on his wall. And I'm like, what the fuck, man?
And it was 19, 20, 15, 16. And I was like, man, that's just a coincidence.
No,
You know?
no.
That's just a coincidence.
19, 20, 15,
You know?
16 spells out stop on the Ouija board. All four of our names equal out to those numbers. So, of course, I'm not letting it go, right? I'm on a path. So I type it in on Google, 19, 20, 15, 16. It popped up with verses 19 and 20, pages 15 and 16 in the book of Revelations. It talks about the Antichrist and people stopping him. And that's about as far as I got with it, right?
Yeah, we were too spooked at that point.
You'd
We
want to
stopped.
jump off ship at that
But
point.
like, look, probably 4 months ago, I typed it in on Google, the coordinates. It is actually just outside of Jerusalem.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's extremely bizarre that
ominous.
like anywhere that
Yeah.
it could be, that's where it is. And like, you can't even like type in like, give me directions, because it's literally in the middle of a desert. There's no road.
Middle of the desert.
But
Like, if
think
I
about
won the Powerball, we are becoming like Indiana Jones immediately. We're going there.
Yeah.
We're digging, like,
100%.
because it's just weird, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Synchronicities.
Well, think of the things you encountered
Exactly.
just pursuing that line of logic. Antichrist, Jerusalem.
it's just kind of bizarre. And like, still to this day, he swears on everything.
Yeah,
that he
he
did not
swears.
make it up or anything like that.
He says it just
Because like, he could have made the coincidence of, oh, there's 24 letters in the alphabet. No, there's 26. And he could have actually done that, but not everybody's name. Like, that's
Yeah.
way too much,
Yeah.
right?
That's too much detail.
That's
Yeah.
where the synchronicity, like Travis said, comes in. And at the time, I didn't know what synchronicities were. I thought they were just coincidences. You know what I mean? But
No.
you cross that veil of coincidence to synchronicity when multiple things just keep happening and they're all
Yeah.
related.
Out of infinite possibilities, the things that do end up happening.
Right.
And you're like, what the hell? What are
And
the
so
odds?
from that point forward, I was like, I want to see if this stuff is real. So we book a trip to
Trans-Allegheny
to
Lunatic
Trans-Allegheny.
Asylum in Weston, West Virginia.
it was the four of us, me, Bullard, Travis, and Clayton. And the way they have it set up there is it's 40 people, 4 floors, 4 groups of 10. That night carved the path to today, because literally everything that we thought was TV that could be fake happened to us
That night.
literally.
we got
The
a good.
craziest shit.
I mean, those two together heard children crying. Me and Clayton caught EVPs of a woman in solitary confinement. Me and Bullard were walking down a hallway and had a door open up on us. Like, you could hear the creak. And then
the footsteps chasing after us down the hall.
exactly, there's a nurse who lived in the building.
She was basically like a caretaker. She was employed by the hospital.
She was raised by the hospital.
Well,
Yeah, she was born in that place.
she mistreated a lot of people.
Long
Did
story
she
short.
kind of do like a guardian angel thing and like kill patients at the end of their lives? Like,
No, she was
just
abusive.
like, she was just abusive, and she was
Very
mean.
abusive, neglectful.
Basically, like the worst case scenario you could have for like a nurse.
And you got to think, this is a lunatic asylum. So there were a lot of mentally handicapped people, and just her frustration of that,
Having-
to deal with that.
So it might not
she
even
took
have
it
been
out.
that like she was crazy. It's just
No, she wasn't crazy at all.
aggravation upon aggravation.
She was just a,
You just-
a bitch. Like,
yeah, you
literally.
lose your ability to see them as people.
And
so-
she's on the top floor, the 4th floor. And I was provoking, calling her all of the worst things you could
the
possibly
C word,
do.
the B word.
The C word, the B word. Fuck
Really
you.
trying to spit in the eye of
Yeah, I really think like this is horrible to think about and conceptualize, but I really do think like people, like let's say you live a normal life, you live 60, 70 years old and you develop Alzheimer's. I think when you die, you go with the Alzheimer's. That's I don't know why I come to that conclusion.
But you got to think about it in the sense of you don't have Down syndrome, right? Or you don't have dementia or Alzheimer's or anything like that. So you don't know what it's necessarily like to have that mindset. But think about it in the sense of like somebody who has autism or Down syndrome, who when they're verbalizing with other people, you see the frustration, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah,
in their
for sure.
mind, they know what they want to say,
They're
what they want to
trying to-
do.
yeah.
So it's like when you pass the things that are holding you back and hindering you in normal interactions in life, when you die, you go back to your pure mind. You see what I'm saying?
I would hope so.
that would be ideal.
That would be
because
ideal,
Whenever
but-
you see someone in a movie after they come back, Anakin isn't Vader when he returns as the Force Ghost. He's his idealized perfect self.
exactly. That's how I look at it. But anyways,
But that's a horrifying concept. The energy that you leave when you die. At the moment you die.
I really,
Oh, for sure.
unfortunately, like that's just where my mind is with that whole crossing over realm.
To
So
this woman.
I was provoking like crazy to this nurse, caretaker, whatever she was. was on the 4th floor.
Like, if you're so big and bad, do something.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
You know, all 4 of us were walking in a straight line down the middle of the hallway. I shit you not.
Mind you, this is an insane asylum, and it's an old insane asylum. So the doors...
This is the largest handmade 252,000 square feet. Okay, so this building's fucking huge. So the way it is, they have 2 football field long corridors that are connected by a small hallway. So they're parallel corridors.
Yep.
Now, mind you, this is hours after we tried to provoke her. On the 4th floor, her door was
Like smack dab in the middle. Yeah.
But it was just us 2 provoking. And then at some point we met up. Before we left, we were like, we're going to give the pass through one more
Before
time.
we go down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not like we were provoking and then this immediately happened. I just wanted to let everybody know.
Yes. For
There's
the
a time
context.
frame.
There was a gap in time. So after the provoking, we were all walking parallel with each other down the middle of the hallway. And as soon as we crossed the threshold of this woman's room, her door, which mind you is a solid steel door, every bit of 300 plus pounds, slammed shut.
Like the hardest I've ever heard a door
you
slam.
Could feel,
you felt it, bro.
You could feel the door slamming.
Yeah, because that rocks the structure.
It fucking slammed.
It scared us so bad that like nobody moved. Like we all just jumped and like we're petrified. Like what the just happened?
Unfortunately, we didn't get it on camera, but you hear it.
I didn't find out until after we were done. We went to Sheets to get food and stuff like that, and Clayton was like, "Hey, come here." And he lifts up his shirt sleeve, and he's got 10 or 11 scratches like on his shoulder, and they all went like different directions. And I'm like, "Why didn't you tell me in that moment?" And he was like, because I didn't want to freak anybody out. And I'm like, you could have been in danger. And he was actually the last one at the line when we passed her door. And he said that's when it happened. And he said that he showed Travis, but he just didn't want to tell anybody else.
So let's try to contextualize that. Was that grab and scrape? Or
I'm not sure. It literally looked like
appear?
if you took like barbed wire or
it looked like he
wire.
walked through like a cornfield and got scratched up real good.
And I actually have a photo of us on the way up there.
There's nothing.
Nothing there.
Nothing. So it happened that night. But that event right there is what skyrocketed us.
It was just that whole experience.
Well, that whole experience is what really set me on the path to like want to continue to pursue this and see more stuff and figure out what the hell is actually going on. And that was 2013.
So let's go to the key now.
The key fucked me up.
Yeah.
I cannot explain it. None of us can explain it. Well, it's the most. I don't even know what words to put to it.
I'll set up since I was there.
Travis always gets put in a wheelchair.
Yeah. So, well, this was our first thing, right? And they told us during the tour.
Yeah, use what you want. If you see a wheelchair, sit in it.
Use it. It might provoke something.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, I have plantar fasciitis, being on my feet for a long time.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks. So I'm like, you know what? Wheelchair, 2nd floor.
100%.
I'm not even sure. I think it was like the men's ward, and Clay's pushing me. So you guys were going through that walkway from one corridor to the other, and we're the first door on the left. You guys were talking bullshit in the back, and I've got the camera. I'm just chilling in the wheelchair, being pushed around as my feet cross the doorway. Feet enter the room.
I can still fucking hear it.
Yeah.
You hear a metal cling, ting, 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 ting. And I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm out. I was like, and Clay's like trying to back me up as quick as he could to get us out of the room. Cause I was like, I did not like that. I did not like that.
And me and Bullard are like, what happened?
Yeah.
And you were like, something just fell in that room or something.
So I busted out the flashlight. I walked into this room, and I shit you not, geometrically center of this room is a fucking skeleton key.
Cold Case Western Australia is a new true crime podcast series produced on behalf of the WA Police Force Special Crime Squad. The series examines unsolved homicide cases, some dating back several decades, in the world's largest policing jurisdiction. You'll hear new case details and insights from the investigating detectives and forensic experts. There are now $1 million rewards attached to each unsolved homicide in Western Australia. You can listen to Cold Case Western Australia wherever you get your podcasts or by visiting the WA Police Force website.
We were told when we did the walkthrough and all that stuff with our tour guide that anything you find in here is original. because there's been so many people that go around here that take shit and all this stuff. Like there shouldn't be anything in here.
There should be nothing. I walked in there and I picked this key up and I looked around and I was like, where the fuck did this come? I looked up, I looked to the ceiling, I looked everywhere, and then there was a window in the room. Yeah. I walked over to the window and I kid you not, I can't make this up. There was a dusty key ring that fit that key perfectly. So I put that key back as perfect as I could put it. I left it. And I was like, this key was obviously here. Somehow it got to the middle of the floor, 8 feet away. That's fine. Whatever. Random. We'll leave it as it is. The four of us cross the corridor, go to the other parallel hallway. 40 minutes goes by as we're crossing through this whole corridor. Like I said, it's about 2 football fields long. It's huge.
And the room that we were in was where the most brutalest murder happened. An inmate there was rooming with another one, I think is what it was. I could be wrong.
What happened was the guy that killed this guy was psycho. And he ended up beating the shit out of this dude. And when he was pretty much, lifeless, he put his head underneath of the bedpost, got on top of the bed and started jumping on the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I was the last one through the door and I was just standing in the middle of the doorway. We're doing whatever we're doing. And then Clayton pretty much just interrupts what we're doing. And he's like, yo, what did you do with that key? And I was like, I left it in the room. What do you mean? He's like, look down. Right in the middle of my fucking feet is the key. And I said, hell no.
Ain't no way.
I walked all the way the fuck back to football fields by myself in the dark in the most violent ward of this place. And I walked back to the place where I put the key and the key was fucking gone.
Yeah. And the
key was fucking gone.
And then we went back and we asked our tour guide, we're like, hey, we found this fucking key. Is this real? Like, is this a key to this place? And he's like, if you found it in here, it's real because this place has been scavenged. Like anything you find, it's original. He's kept the key to this day. I have
the key right now.
The key is cursed. He's had bad luck, bad juju. Because I don't want to.
I'm not even kidding, bro. Like, look, I lost it used to be on my keys. I carried it around with me all the time, everywhere. I lost my job doing auto body, and then I went to a kind of a plumbing kind of company, and I took the key off the ring because I was like, you know what, this key is fucking with me. I really feel like this key's got some bad juju, bad luck, whatever you want to call it.
Because up to this point, it's just a cool object.
To that point, it was just a cool object, but like my life was spiraling.
Yeah, but at the same time,
my life was falling apart.
He was seeing shit at his parents' house.
My parents' house.
His son would talk about ghosts, not even knowing what ghosts were.
So I took the key off. When I moved to this new job, all of my toolboxes and stuff from the old auto body job, they went to my new job. I put that key in that box. Okay, that was probably really loud. Sorry.
It probably really was.
I put that key in one of my toolboxes and I forgot about it. So ever since I put that key in the box,
shit got better.
Our company, actually, no, not necessarily. Yeah, my life has gotten better.
Your life got better.
Our company used to be stupid busy. And, call this a coincidence if you want. When I came here, it was 2019, 2020, right when pandemic started. I put the key in the box. But ever since I put that key into that box at my shop, our work has been the slowest this has been in 10 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we have a plan to donate the key to a museum that has haunted objects because I don't want nothing to do with
that key. Has fucking bad juju. I'm no lie.
Like we could take it back. Like, I don't know. We're kind of iffy. Either we're going to take it back or we're going to donate it to a haunted place.
I mean, taking it back, you would just be throwing it back into a well of already haunted stuff.
Exactly.
Now you actually have a history and stories to go along with it, which is more valuable as far as
but it has bad luck. So that's
maybe it's better to just throw it down that well. Yeah.
Is how the fuck did it go from that room to the doorwell? So it just doesn't make sense to me. And Clayton swears on God that it wasn't him. I was the last one out of the room. I was the last one holding the key.
So to do my due diligence and play skeptic, how do you know there aren't certain places in there that they haven't tampered with just to manufacture something like that?
So there was 4 of us and there was 4 other guys in the other group that were on the same floor at the same time that we were. That night, we never ran into them once.
Not once.
Not once. They were very professional. They were just like us.
They had the same goals we did. We were coming there for
like if we were on one side of the ward, they would have been like, hey, my bad. We're going to go over here. So that way you guys can conduct whatever you're conducting.
Exactly. They didn't want contamination from us. We didn't want contamination from them.
Right. So when we were on that floor where we were, when Bullard put that key there, when we walked over to where we were and Bullard walked back, the key was gone. It it was the same key.
It was in my hand.
So they would have to have like a camera system to know where you guys
There's
are.
no
in order to
electricity.
orchestrate that.
There's no electricity.
And when I was physically handling the key, when I put it back on the windowsill, I visually inspected it. You know, I spun it around in my fingertips and took a look at it. The tip is crooked and angled. It's got the one hole at the end, and then it's got the like the
yeah, exactly,
at the end.
Exactly. Dude, we never even checked if it locked that door.
I don't know
the room that it was in. We don't know. You know what I mean? This was like the start of everything. This was brand new, right?
Yeah, this was brand new to all of us. Like this was completely.
It was your first night on the job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the very first time. So to step away from that, years go by, right? Like we went back to Trans-Allegheny. We did, again, another public thing. We ended up with a very poor group that time. They kept following us around. And that's when we learned, we're like, okay, we need to start doing private events. So we did the West Virginia State Penitentiary. Not so much happened. Years go by, a lot changes, right? Because we never do anything in Virginia because everything in Virginia is historical.
Civil War.
And they don't allow people to do stuff there. And everywhere we go, people are like, Virginia Paranormal Research Society, why are you here? Because we're in PA, Ohio, you know, whatever.
Yeah. New York.
Right.
You don't shit where you eat.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm like, paranormal is a very broad term.
Very broad.
And
Absolutely.
you've got cryptids, UFOs, demons, ghosts. I didn't want to limit myself. And so we all kind of came up with a bunch of names and then we voted on it. And that's when we came up with Project Paranormal. And a lot of people ask, well, what does Project Paranormal mean? And I'm like, to me, what it means is we're not limited to anything. And it's our project. It's unique to us. I've never been to school for filming or anything like that. And I'm not even going to sit here and say like, I've got it all figured out or there's no need for improvement. There's always need for improvement, right? But I'm a self-taught filmmaker. Everything that's been put out has been put out through my vision. I've got a certain thing that I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
and
I mean, you're the one here putting in the fucking work, man.
Yeah.
The word project implies that there will always be evolution in what you're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just didn't want to seem like every other group out there. Every other group out there is literally, their name is dedicated to their county or their state. And like, I didn't want to do that, right? So Project Paranormal was born. And then shortly after that is when a couple of people separated. Bullard, Travis, Clayton were gone for a couple of years.
Yeah, my son was born.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of changes, life happens and stuff like that.
That's another good conceit with the name is because you can swap out people as needed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
You're not always working on a project 24/7.
And so I reach out to Bullard and I'm like, hey, this is what I've got going on.
He reached out at a perfect time. I was itching because
Ready
it's
for it.
addictive.
It's addictive.
It
It's
is
so much
addictive.
fun.
It's not even the fun. It's the fact that you're just like, what is happening?
Reaching into
It's
the
like, it's like
You're
you
reaching
go
into the
somewhere with
fringe.
expectations, but then you walk out of there and you're like, bro, this is not at all what I thought was going to happen.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
It
What's
literally
behind
is.
the curtain.
exactly.
So I reach back out to them. We start filming. We go to a couple of places. I reach out to a network. That's when we get tied to Paraflix. And we have a show on Paraflix, Paranormal Plus.
We are exclusive to paraflix.com. Thank you, Natalie.
And so
Shouts to Natalie.
in my mind, it's like, I want to build this empire, right? Like, yeah, I want to be like the TV shows. People always say like, oh no, you want to get paid for it and all this stuff. Really, all I want is to be able to do this more frequent for free. That is me getting paid to do it, right? Because it costs a lot of money to do this stuff.
I hear you.
Like to
Film
do
There's
production
a reason
is
I'm
ridiculous.
only recording.
so to do the public events, it's not that much money. It's like $100 per person, which that's still a lot of money.
If
But
you
to
go
do
into
a
the private realm, you're over $1,000.
And when you have a small group like us, it's pretty difficult.
It's a heavy bullet to bite.
So I learned, go to the less known places. Because like Trans-Allegheny, for example, there is flashlight tours during the day. Just walk through tours, take pictures.
Yep.
And then they have public, private, every day of the week.
Yep.
The best way for me to explain what paranormal investigating is, because we've had people that have tried to go with us or want to join. And I tell them, do you like fishing? Because it's more boring than fishing. You don't know what's going to happen or when it's going to happen. And you could pay a lot of money and go somewhere and nothing happen at all.
Yeah. Like it's frustrating when you go to a place and you're really excited and 7-8 hours into it, you're like, I'm asleep.
Yeah, and then you get burnt out on it. And that's the
Very
problem,
burnt out.
right? And so you got to find something else in it that you enjoy, whether it be the historical side of it, the filming side of it.
Because you got to get content out of it at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so we filmed the whole season 1, which before we were with Paraflix, we had already started filming for YouTube. And then we went on with Paraflix like 3/4 of the way through season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not necessarily so proud of what is on season 1 because it was put together for YouTube.
And it's all fresh. I mean, you're self-taught, dude.
Exactly.
I mean, I think this first season of my show is going to be pretty rough too compared to.
But that's everybody's.
But that's part of the fun. That's part of the process.
I'm my worst critic. Yeah. But season 2, we changed a couple of things and all this stuff. Before we get into more stories,
I see the growing pains in your face,
dude. Season 2 is ridiculous, man.
Yeah. But before we get into more stories about like season 2 or what occurred during season 1, I'm about to drop exclusive to your podcast, the future of Project Paranormal. So I'm done doing what the TV shows are doing. I'm done talking to somebody's dead grandmother, right? Because I've been doing this for so long and going to all these places, asking the same questions, just putting a different name. Is such and such grandmother here? Even though you're capturing content, you're still receiving the same.
It's a script.
Yes, I'm here. Almost. Like, it's like, as much as I preach to people where I'm like, you got to find something else within this that you enjoy, because it can be very boring and you're going to get burnt out on it.
Yeah, right? You don't want to feel like you're just running steps on a program.
Exactly. And so like, I don't want to be that same TV show where I'm going to different places, but I'm asking the same fucking questions.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, yeah, it's cool when I get a response. It's like, yes, I'm here. But it's like,
it's exhilarating. I'm not going to lie.
But at the same time, when I come back and I'm doing my post-production and it's just like,
you feel like you've done that episode before.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
And like, I don't want that to be the future. We're self-taught. We're self-funded. We're limited to what we can actually do. So we've kind of done our area. Now we're going to have to venture far out, which just means more money for what, right? Like I don't feel comfortable driving 16, 20 hours away, paying $1,000 to go somewhere and ask the same questions to hopefully get the same answers. But percentage wise, probably not going to happen, right? Because we've done that. We've been to places where we drove 6-8 hours and nothing happened. So the way that we're going to start doing stuff now, because we'd already filmed for season 2. Season 2 is been done. It's just, I need to get my butt in gear and start putting this stuff together, but I have a baby on the way, so things are slowed down. But season 3, we have a story we're going to tell. And instead of it being like 8 episodes and each episode is a new place, like your typical, televised network TV show, it's going to be 8 episodes focused on this one particular place because it's so rich in history and so much crap is going on there. And we've already been there and we've captured so much stuff, groundbreaking stuff, right? Groundbreaking stuff. People have gone here for years and have not figured out what this thing is. And we did. And we had the most craziest experience that we've ever had.
I had an experience that doesn't make any goddamn sense at all.
That sounds amazing. Because I don't think any of these shows put that amount of time into anything.
Exactly.
You get your half hour to an hour long episode and then they move on to the next
the next state, the next country.
Yeah, but what you don't realize is that, and we know because we're in it, right? Yeah. Is we go to these places that you see on TV and we talk to the people that run the places and they're like, yeah, it looks like they were here for a day. But realistically, they were here for a week. That means they have to be wearing the same clothes, go to the same area at a certain time to make it look like it's all in succession, but it's actually not. So in a way, it's like they're not faking stuff. They're warping the timeline of when things occur. They have a team that goes in and does their B-roll, meets with people and sets up interviews and stuff like that. And then you have the team that goes in and they do the investigation. And it's like they get a couple of cool things, but they don't get the big bang. So they stay there for 3 or 4 more days. And then when they get that big bang, they're like, okay, this is our episode. We don't have that because it's just us and we're funding it. If we go somewhere 10 hours away and we don't capture anything, we don't really have the ability to throw that away because we invested so much time and money into it.
Yep.
So what I've learned throughout the years is if we're able to put out this stuff and have this outlet, then cool, right? It's a video diary that we can look back on. Really what it boils down to is it's for us. So I don't need to go to these places to get the same content to give to these people. I'm doing it for us. I want to get answers. I want to get proof. I want to figure out what's going on. We're going down a direction that nobody else is, man. We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it for the answers. To continue to do it like this, it's pointless.
Yeah, it's like you were saying earlier. You can't just go there for a week and expect to experience everything a place has to offer. Maybe just getting a tip of the iceberg.
I don't think people realize how lucky they are when they go somewhere for a day. More often than not, we're not. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. And so that's why we want to go down this different direction of really telling a story. Not of these huge places that everybody knows, but like
the unknown places.
The unknown place. The stuff that's really rich. I can't talk too much about that place.
But my story is so ludicrous about that place. It I feel so funny telling it. because I feel like
it's so
a
weird
crazy
that it happened
person.
to you. Yeah.
I feel like a crazy person.
Crazy doesn't exist for me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Because it's all subjective experience.
It's
Like, it
100% subjective experience, and it's 100% subjective takeaway from it. This place in particular that we went to this year literally destroyed whatever I thought coincidence was. Coincidence doesn't exist to me anymore.
Next time on the Hometown Horrors podcast.
I look at Bullard and I'm like, bro, what about that thing you were talking about? He's like, you want to do that thing? I was like, I want to do that thing.
Aliens and ghosts kind of exist on the same plane. Ghosts are an expression of consciousness, and aliens are consciousness. And I feel like somehow, some way, shape, or form, they coexist on the same plane.
I picked a bad time to stop drinking.
Hell yeah.
Dude, fuck yeah. I just want to say that now, Dan Aykroyd, if you hear this, your vodka's great.
No, don't lie, bro. He didn't want to do it because he was scared. Well, what is consciousness?
Yeah, if they're awakening a door in you.
And it's not uncommon to go to a place that's haunted to have some stories of aliens.
Now those were some frightfully fun stories. Howdy everybody, it's me, your host Danny, and I wanted to let you in on something special. You might have noticed that when I introduce the show, I say we are the Hometown Horrors podcast. That's because there will always be at least 3 people in each episode. Me, the person who wants to hear a good story, the guest, the teller of a good story, and you, the listener, that takes that story and carries it with you out into the world. And we make up a special kind of trinity. We are the Hometown Horrors podcast. And if you ever want to graduate from listener to guest, reach out to us via our handle on Instagram, hometown_horrors_podcast. Our email is thehometownhorrorspodcast, no spaces, @gmail.com, or via text or phone call at 571-358-8880, which FYI is not my personal number, but give it a ring. I'll get back to you, because if there's anything I've learned from doing the podcast is that everybody has a story, and that story deserves to be heard. On your number one source for the most spine-tingling, gut-wrenching, insomnia-inducing stories around, the Hometown Horrors Podcast.